Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Ochiko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing it for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochiko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
The spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her and I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should.
Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Monday, March 24th. We got an absolutely banger of a show today. I know a lot of people are panicking. If you haven't read Tiger Droppings, I have it. Lloyd has. He's relayed the message to me. Everybody needs to get fired. Jay Johnson's the baseball version of Coach O. Fire the pitching coach. Make everybody transfer and get a new team. Because we're not good.
On to football season.
With all that being said, LSU, they come home after their first series loss of the year on the road, first road series of the year. They're still 4-2, one game behind first place in the SEC. Everybody needs to calm the fuck down. Everybody needs to relax.
State of the Union.
We're gonna be okay. I promise. There's some things they gotta work on and get better on. We're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna review. We're gonna review the weekend. Talk about things that we like, didn't like, things that we think that are going to get better. Not just say, hey, this is why they suck. Or this is why they don't suck. This is, hey, this is what happened. This is why it happened. And we're going to talk it through. LSU women's basketball on TV right now. It's a commercial. But they are playing live right now. It's
Shout out Boost Mobile.
It's halftime. And they win. They go to the Sweet 16. Obviously, they're playing in the PMAC. Looks like a pretty great crowd. If you're at the PMAC and you're not listening to us and you're listening to us later, enjoy the game. If you're listening to us live but watching the game in the background, welcome in. We have, like I said, a big show today. We are joined by a special guest, a guy that we've been huge fans of since he stepped foot on campus. We have been a big promoter of him to try to get him in the rotation. We told you how good he was. Obviously, he is showing how good he is this year. Friday night, ace of the staff, Kade Anderson, in studio right now. Man, welcome. Is this the first time you're on the show?
Yeah, first time.
Wow.
And, but I've been a fan since
First time,
stepped
long
on
time.
campus. Yeah, you're right.
First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a long time. I think a decent amount of our guys listen to the show, and it's just as an LSU fan, it's obviously nice to kind of hear what other people think.
Well, we appreciate it because obviously, Jared and I have been through the grind, right? We've been through where you're at. We're both Louisiana guys. We both loved LSU. We grew up watching LSU, wanting to play at LSU, and we got the opportunity to do it. You're doing that same thing. Before we get to you and we get to your background, what it means to play here, let's talk about the weekend briefly, right? Obviously, you go to Texas, hostile environment, I would imagine. Not like the Alex Box, but on the road against a good team. Y'all don't come home with the series win. Y'all have played great on Friday. Y'all played great for about half the game on Saturday. And then after that, it kind of unfolded a little bit. Y'all had 2 losses. You come back. What's the message to the team? What's the morale of the team? And how are y'all going to be able to rebound from the first series loss of the year and get back on track tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously no one likes to lose, and it was a little bit of a struggle this weekend, but I don't think we were by any means looking into it that much. I think that through that hard time, you got to come in mind and realize that we've lost 3 games this season, and I think that's something maybe not a lot of people are really understanding right now. And it's not like we lost to a bad team. That team's pretty good, and I think that sometimes you got baseballed, and this wasn't our weekend, but that doesn't mean the rest of the weekends can't be ours.
No, and look, it's the SEC. It's a gauntlet, and you're not going to win every game. It's impossible. I don't think anybody's ever gone 30-0 in the SEC, especially the way the SEC
Damn it, why not?
is structured now. And I think it was a good test for y'all. I think there's some things that y'all could probably get better at, and that y'all understand that. And it's going to be a learning experience. Jay, you got a question?
Yeah, man, I got a question, and I don't want to move the conversation along too fast, but you and I got a chance to talk in the hotel on, when was that? I think Saturday or Sunday? Saturday.
Yeah, I want to say
Saturday a little bit.
Yeah.
And so and we as a group on the show talked about it a good bit watching you pitch on Friday night, but the guy we saw on the mound just pitched. He seemed to pitch with so much conviction, and the guy being obviously you on Friday night. It felt like there was so much intent and so much bought-in belief behind every pitch that you threw. Is that an accurate statement as to where you are right now in your game, and how do you see yourself when you're on the mound?
Yeah, I think pitching in its own is a lot of mental warfare, honestly, and I think that getting to that point where you can just be confident with all your pitches, knowing that if you locate and get to the right spot, that you're going to be successful. So I think that it's obviously nice when you have a team that averages like 10 runs a game, so it's like really stress-free. It's obviously nice for that, and I think that Coach Yeski does a really good job of calling pitches and kind of keeping our staff just in a good mindset, really.
I want to have like so many different types of questions that I want to ask right now about your pitching style. He talked about the conviction, and you talk about mental warfare. I want to talk about the adjustments you've made, but before I get there, what I've noticed, and I've noticed this from a lot of really good pitchers, right? You talk about being able to forget things or have mental warfare, understanding how you need to approach something or forget something. All the best pitchers that I've played with, from LSU on to pro ball, Lewis Coleman, give up a homer, he strike the next guy out. Aaron Nola, give up a homer, strike the next guy out. It feels like every time something like that happens, you give up maybe an extra base hit for a double or for an RBI or a home run for an RBI. The next guy you punch out. Is that something that's conscious? Is that more of like a, hey, I'm not going to let this thing unravel for me and I'm going to go out and get the next guy?
Yeah, I think that it kind of goes in hand. We talked about this a little before the show, but just the experience that I've had, I got welcomed to the SEC pretty good last year, and I think that is something I got to struggle with, and I think that was really a good thing for me. And I think along with that process, it's been really easy to kind of move past things like that now. So like I give up a solo home run, like so what? We're winning 4-1.
Right.
Like who cares?
Yeah. We had in
Well,
2000.
at some point, you have to like trust that offense, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like we scored 10 runs a game, just about. Like, who cares? Like, people need to stop worrying about statistics so much. Like, I'll have a 6 ERA this year. Like, I really don't care. As long as we win, like, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. Well, and look,
There you go.
and that should be the only thing that matters, right? You talked about some of the adjustments you made last year, or coming into this year from last year. We talked about it before the show. Last year, you were a curveball, fastball guy. Fastball is obviously elite, got a lot of ride. Curveball, everybody's talking about how unbelievable the curveball is. Clayton Kershaw-esque is what everybody says, right? But that was it. You were, they say, two-trick pony last year. This if you didn't locate his curveball, sit on the fastball and go from there. Now, your curveball is your fourth pitch. Technically, this year, it feels like you said you threw it 3 times this past Friday. You came up with a slider. You figured out how to throw a slider. You're locating the slider. You're able to shape the slider, and in my opinion, from what I've seen, that's kind of taking your pitching to the next level. Is that something that you feel? And what went into that, learning how to throw the slider?
Yeah, I think obviously the slider's been huge for me. I throw it probably 30-40% of the time. And I really think back to like last year, like if I would have had a slider, that maybe things would have been a little different for me. But yeah, I think that introducing the slider and really the changeup has really been a big factor. Not a lot of people talk about, but for me, really just you obviously have to mix pitches. And you look back, and if I had a slider last year, I think, man, it would have been a lot different. And
Definitely been that Sunday roll.
Yeah, and I think last year I was almost reliever starting, and obviously that helped me, honestly, realizing and with the coaches like telling me that like you're not going to be able to throw 2 pitches on Friday in the SEC. That's just not how that works. So really grinding this offseason to kind of figure out what's going to be best for me, and it's clearly paid off.
Jay.
So, yeah, I mean, you mentioned the slider, and the slider's obviously been great for you. Now, I can remember a couple years ago when seemingly the best pitcher in the world at that time was a lot of fastball, a lot of slider early on in the year. As the year going, he started throwing the changeup more. As you got towards that back end of the year, he started throwing the actual curveball a little bit more. Do you see, and I'm talking about Paul Skeens, obviously, do you see yourself as you get through this year even more having to go to that curveball even more? Or is it something that's just kind of on the back burner for you and you don't know if you'll actually implement it into your game plan even more?
Yeah, I think that's something that's like one of my favorite parts about pitching, obviously, because you're not going to have all 4 pitches working that day, and something that I've kind of taken advantage of. Obviously, at some points in the fall, I really did have all 4 pitches working, but when you go through those games and you only have 2 pitches working, you kind of have to just deal with it and get outs that way. So I really, at some points, I'm not sure, it might have been second or third week of our season, but I had all 4 working. But like one inning, it was fastball, like, and I didn't have the curveball, and then the next inning, something else would be working. So just continuing to like have that confidence about your pitches. Like even when you throw 5 balls with a slider, like you have to have that confidence in the back of your head to, you can kind of go back to it.
You talk about some of the learning experiences that you learned from your freshman year in the SEC till now, and it's kind of made you a better pitcher. You said that your road roommate this year is William Schmidt.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously a freshman, highly touted coming in, going through his own. There's our guy, right there.
There he is.
Going through his own welcome to the SEC type moments right now, which I think, and I think personally, it's going to be better for the team and better for him in the long run because you learn most from those situations. And from what you've told me, his personality fits that. Like, he's a guy that's going to, like, hey, I don't give a shit if I give up a three-run homer. I'm going to come back and figure it out. How important is that going to be for him? And have you been able to kind of sit down with him and talk to him after those things and say, hey, look, I won't do that same shit. This is why it's going to make you better and so on? Yeah,
I think that losing this weekend might be the best thing that happened to us, honestly. Like, you need those experiences if you really want to be a deep playoffs, like, team run. And just through those processes, obviously, Schmidt is one of the best pitchers I've ever seen, honestly. He's just so talented, but he's got a lot to, like, work on, and that's such a good thing for him. That, like, through that, like, who cares if you give up a 3-run home run? I try to like talk to him about it, and obviously he's one of those dudes that like, all right, what are we going to eat for lunch after this? Like, and that's such a good like attribute he has about himself, and it's really been fun for him to grow because he's already made so many good improvements, and the sky's the limit for him, honestly.
I mean, it's people when people hear that sometimes they think like, oh, this guy doesn't care about baseball. It's the opposite, right? Like, I was a guy who cared too much, and it ate me up. Right, like I would think about it. I'd go to sleep and think about how I could have done something different, and I was jealous of the guys like him, who had the ability and really worked hard and wanted it, but also was able to just say, "All right, it happened, move past it." And that's an important thing to have, especially in baseball.
Yeah, it's just been it's such a good attribute, and I think that it's something that Schmidt, Zach Cowan, and maybe Holman from last year is like just so good at that, and that's something that I think honestly he doesn't even realize it, but he's teaching so many of these other guys that maybe don't have that that attribute that really just forget about it, and he's really teaching the guys just so what. And
yeah, Jay.
So I gotta ask, man, because I don't think I've ever asked like a picture of this, and I've always thought this. I think Mikie would be able to second this as well. So as a hitter, when you stand at the plate and you look at the mound, you feel like the mound is literally starting at the dirt. Mm-hmm. But then as a hitter, when I go stand at the mound and I look at the plate, I'm like, damn, this shit is far. when you locked in and you doing your thing as a pitcher, what do you see? Like, what does that feel like?
Yeah, honestly, well, like when I'm in that kind of zone, all I see is really the catcher and the plate. And honestly, for the most part, I don't really think about the hitter, no matter if it's Shohei Ohtani up there or Joe Schmo. But I think that you get into that mental state where.
Oh, that means Lloyd?
Yeah, I was about to say I have a name.
No, Lloyd would take me deep for sure. But,
he has one homer in his career.
That's right, drunk.
One homer. He was drunk.
There we go. There we go.
Grand Slam coach.
No, yeah, but I mean that's like your workspace, and obviously over time you get comfortable with it, and then that goes back to the experiences you have. Obviously, I've been fortunate enough to play at Alex Box for over a year now, and when you get into crowds like when we were at Texas, it was like 7,000 people, and like honestly, like it felt like honestly like a midweek game.
Yeah.
And which is something that like you're obviously so fortunate enough, and you kind of forget about that you play in front of 12,000 on a weekly basis.
You've mentioned Holman a lot, like through whether it be like just in like brief conversations or whether it was on whenever you did like the in-game interview. Like you learned a lot from him. What did you actually take from having a guy that was only here a year, but obviously in that kind of Friday night role that you have obviously taken over? Like how much did you glean from him learning, I guess, how to go about being a Friday night starter?
Yeah, I think he's just he's a normal dude, and you would never know that he was LSU's Friday night starter. And he's
shout out to that coach at Alabama that's no longer the coach.
Yeah, let's not go there with that one. But he's a normal guy that I'm pretty sure every single one of the grips on his pitches were the same. It was a lot of things, like he would throw his curveball, his slider, and his fastball like the same grip. Like I've never seen that before.
Just changed the way he.
Yeah, it's just like all like wrist, I guess. Wow. But yeah, it's like he just had that like just slow like who cares kind of vibe about him, and I think that helps a lot like as a pitcher. And you either have to be like a lot of people say this, you have to be really dumb or you have to be really smart to be a pitcher. Like you can't be in between. You don't want to get stuck
Greg
in
Maddox and Paul Skeens.
Yeah, well
Paul's not dumb. Super smart.
Yeah, but you just don't want to be stuck in the middle, and he kind of showed me that when you move past things, that's usually when you got the good outcomes and start becoming successful.
Let me ask you this: as a competitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go through a weekend like you just had. You lose your last 2 games of the weekend. You come back home with a series loss. I was always let's get back and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like let me just get back on the field. I don't feel like we played our best baseball. I don't feel like we were the team that we should be. I know that we're better. Let's get back. Y'all play on Tuesday and y'all play a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Mm-hmm. Do you like that quick turnaround, especially coming off their loss, or would you like rather the normal routine?
No, yeah, I like that. And you mentioned the competitor part, and that's something that a lot of our guys like. We're super competitive, and I think I'll play that weekend over again, and I'll bet a lot of money on it. So I think that just goes to show you the confidence we have, and it is an off week for us. And I think that going back and resetting, and we got ULL tomorrow, and that's what's on our mind right now.
And the other part of it is, like, midweek games kind of get, especially when SEC plays, we've talked about this, get a little drowsy. Everyone goes through it. I mean, that's an obvious thing. But when UL or a team like that comes in here, who's kind of got – they always come in there. There's always a little bit more juice in that midweek game. To me, I think that's a perfect game to play after a series loss, because you can't be drowsy in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be kind of laid back. They're coming in there with a little bit of juice. They're a good team. And to me, that kind of like –
It's their World Series.
Yeah, I think that for the midweek, like you said, it's everyone's World Series for us. And you can't move past it. I think that the midweeks matter a lot more than people realize. And I think that I was a part of the Southern game last year, and that's something that I was definitely look back and say I would like to redo that one. But
yeah,
I think that when you face a team like ULL is a good program. They
Yep.
really are. So I think that we got our mindset on that, and I think that's something that after this weekend, it's something that we can really get a jab back at them.
Jay.
Yeah, so me and Mikey are old as shit now, so it's been a while since we played, right? And we can sit here and talk about what we think the difference is in terms of midweek games and or early season games as compared to either SEC games or postseason games. In your mind, like, what do you see as the difference between, I don't know, maybe playing against a North Dakota State or playing against Texas on the road? Like, what's the difference there for you?
Yeah, I think obviously everyone goes to competition, but I think that when we have so many young guys that are playing, they got a lot of time under their belt, they don't realize the significance of it's just another game. And I think that's something that once they kind of realize that, they just kind of become comfortable with just playing the game.
You said something interesting before the show started, and I'm going to let you kind of take it where you want to take it. I'm not going to put the words in your mouth. But having the type of team that I feel like that y'all have, as close as y'all are, as much team chemistry that y'all have, you know, and maybe some years in years past, coming off of a loss like that or series loss like that, it'd be a little bit harder to rebound. You've talked about how close y'all are and how everybody hangs out and how you have no doubt in your mind that y'all are going to be able to rebound from this and rebound quickly because of that close-knit group that y'all have. Talk a little bit about that and how important that has been for y'all this year up to this point.
Yeah, it's been huge, and I think that you got to give the credit to the coaches for bringing in the right guys. I think that's obviously where it starts, and just taking that step forward for me is just bringing those guys along, which has been huge, and I think that the younger guys are figuring it out pretty quick, and it's been fun to be that kind of leader role and continue to push the guys because obviously I can't pitch every inning, and it's been fun, and I think we're just a tight group of guys that just like to be around each other. And shout out to all the other leaders, Bear, Jake Brown. They do a really good job of just kind of keeping it fun.
Yeah. Lloyd loved the fact that you're kind of giving shit back to the guy that was interviewing you, the mid game guys. To me that shows leadership. Like having a guy come and talk to you and give you interviews, and then you come back at him and you like,
hold on,
yeah, whoa. What are you talking about? Like, not just taking it?
Let's just set the table a little bit because he was being very pompous about what Texas baseball means to him, and played in 1986. Like, okay, cool. He's like, we went to the College World Series, didn't win it, but we were there. And it's like, great, good. And like, you have Kade Anderson on the headset. He's like, asking you questions, and then Kade gives you an answer to kind of have a conversation. He's like, nope, back to Texas, and you're actually, I'm gonna keep the headset on because we're rolling right now, boys.
yeah. I think that. When you talk about your team having 7,000 loud guys on Friday night, like it really felt like a midweek, and I'm not gonna stand up there and like
bullshit you.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna shoot it straight, and I think that it was a fun weekend, but it wasn't loud like they thought it was.
Yeah.
So I thought when
It didn't feel rowdy. I mean, I can attest to that. Yeah, I can attest to that being there. I thought the one time where I felt like it got loud. Honestly, and I'm not sitting there saying that it was like the loudest or anything crazy, but the one time I felt like it got loud was the 3-run homer in the 7th. For me, that was pretty much it. And I felt like it was kind of just, I won't say a country club. It wasn't a country club, but it was like people were just there. I didn't feel like people were super invested. People were just there.
Yeah, and that's something that you can thank the LSU fans for. Like, even like when we're down and we get into those situations, you got Chris Guillot doing the Go Tigers.
Oh, leather lungs?
Even when you got like we were down 4 against Tennessee, like they're there for you. And Texas, like when we were winning, like they're just silent.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you the LSU fans are they're great at times, and also like they also are pretty honest with you, and that's something that LSU baseball really likes, honestly.
Let's have a little fun, right? We're talking serious. We're talking ball. You talked about last year going through ups and downs, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your, like, welcome to the SEC moment? You're like, shit. All right, this is fucking hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got my first outing in the SEC was against Mississippi State, and I'm not sure. I didn't necessarily do terrible, but I didn't do great. So, but the second weekend we played Florida at home, and I got brought in. Coach Johnson actually just got thrown out, and Caglione was pitching.
Oh, got thrown out again on Sunday.
Caglione was pitching, and I got brought in. I'm not sure what inning it was. It might have been the 5th or 6th. And I faced their 1- and 2-hole hitters and gave a back-to-back home runs, and I'm like, wow,
okay.
This is really happening. So, yeah, I learned from those experiences. Those are 2 good hitters, so at least there's that. But, yeah, I can't wait to play Florida, hopefully in the playoffs at some point.
Yeah, well, they got to start winning. They're 0-6.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, it's a tough.
SEC's hard, huh?
It's a tough
4-2.
league.
You think you're 0-6?
Yeah.
A&M, unanimous number 1 team in the country, 0-6.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough league, dude.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's a knife fight, man. It
is.
But it's once you get past it, you become a better team. And when you don't play SEC competition,
How much did y'all learn from last year about that?
Yeah, I think the guys that are back learned a lot, and I think that just why our team is okay. Like, obviously, no one likes to lose, but our team is going to be good because of this. Because last year we went through those, we were 3-12 at one point, and we know what it's like to lose a series. So like we're not scrambling right now, and it's just we're gonna play ULL tomorrow, and then we're gonna worry about the next weekend after that.
Speaking of ULL, I don't know if you know about the conjecture going around the series. It's going to be electric tomorrow because ULL, they have their own little ditty on Twitter, and they shut down a website that maybe shows some. Yes,
That's
So,
Lloyd. That's
this is
Lloyd
my
watches
guy.
the game.
Yeah, so this is a personal moment for me. I don't
Wow.
have cable. So this is how I'll watch the Tigers play. And so don't be surprised if it's contentious tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I think it's going to be full throat for Alec Box tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Cajunotics, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, my family's big into that. My grandparents weren't too happy about
See?
that. So.
See?
That guy ruined a bunch of people's days for no reason.
No reason.
He wasn't even playing. It was that no reason.
And I think they're like 1-12 since that happened. So
Yep. Jared, you got one?
Yeah, I got one, man. I don't want to sit here and put you in a bad spot with anyone, but I will ask this question because you were someone that got to pitch a good bit last year, obviously. Has there been any freshman, whether it's literally a pitcher or a hitter, that you watch go about their business this year and you're impressed? You're like, this shit plays, and it's gonna continue he's gonna continue to get better, and he's gonna continue to go forward, and you can just tell just by how they go about their day-to-day business.
Yeah, it's hard to like set out one guy because I think that the freshman class is really good. Obviously, Derek Curriell has done what he usually does, but I would say that there's 2 guys that not everyone knows about. Schmidt and Curriell are the guys that I think a lot of people know about. But Cooper Williams and Maverick Rizzi they kind of those guys that just do the things the right way, and when you got guys like that, obviously it's going to work out eventually. So. I think that I'm not sure how long they're going to be here, but they're going to put in their fair share of time on the mound, and I think that those are 2 guys that maybe necessarily a little bit in my role last year that weren't the number 1 guy coming in, and they're looking to do some damage on the mound, and I think that those are 2 guys that really can set out a good career for them.
Do you have like a Friday routine when you start day? Like, do you have a start day routine? Like, whenever I say Friday, whenever your start day is. You know, some guys I played with, like, you couldn't look at Justin Verlander in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Verlander came in with headphones on, and nobody wanted to look at him because he wasn't going to talk to you. He wasn't going to look at you. He didn't talk to anybody. And if he had something to say to you, you waited for him to say it to you before you go talk to him. He was just kind of locked
hitter
in.
mentality.
But all the other days, he was fine.
Yeah.
It was just that day, nothing. Some guys had the same meal. Some guys. Do you have a start day routine?
No, I'm like kind of the opposite. I try to like goof around as much as possible, kind of keep things light. And obviously, like when it gets to like an hour before the game, that's when I kind of lock it in. But I've kind of noticed that like when I technically try to do that a little more, like I tend to like lock out before the game even starts. So like if I'm locked in 3 hours before the game, I'm sitting in the dugout 15 minutes before I'm pitching, like thinking about what I'm going to eat tonight, instead of kind of setting my eyes on what's important now. So.
Yeah, I like that. We had my favorite starters are the ones that did that.
Yeah.
When they'd be playing cards with you or doing whatever in the locker room and like, hey, you starting that? Yeah, I'm starting.
Yeah.
A lot of them would get there late. These
So
guys
who's
would get
the
there
damn
early.
Psycho then?
What's that?
I said, so who's the damn psycho then?
Yeah, do y'all have anybody on the team like that? That's got like
Guidry's
super.
still out there somewhere.
Yeah, Goodry's he's something, but Shores is maybe not. He's not necessarily to that extent, but he does like lock in a lot more before the game. But I was riding scooters Friday morning around Austin, so
Love that.
I was just hanging out, man.
Love that.
There you go. Yeah.
The bird scooter, I don't know if they have bird or limes anymore. I don't even know. It's spin.
Yeah, they have all three, but we were walking around the campus trying to find them. They didn't have any like. We were like there was like 6 of us. Like there's only 2 at a time. We're all running around.
Black
the
and
campus.
out in Austin.
Yeah,
I've never been to Austin. It's amazing.
it's a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, I heard it's good.
Yeah.
It's a lot more going on in the sports there. That's why they don't really lock in.
Right. It's like a professional city.
Sure.
That's what they say.
Or you just not, 2006 was a long time ago. Vince
Yeah.
Young ain't walking through that
They
door.
tried to do it in 2009.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Y'all were all over Cajunomics, speaking of. 2009 highlights were everywhere.
You sent me the highlight of me. I was like, damn, that was a bad route. Thank God I caught that. All right, I'm not gonna keep you too much longer. I know you got to get back, but are y'all on spring? Y'all aren't on spring break yet, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure when spring break is. Maybe a couple
right.
more weeks.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Bonnie Blue's still in Cancun.
Jesus Christ. I saw some school buses going in the middle. Like some of them are. Then I saw some kids in the middle of the neighborhood today. I was like, I don't know if school's going on or not going on. Who knows? But before I let you get out of here, obviously y'all got a big game tomorrow and then a big series at home this weekend. In your opinion, right? And you're on the field. You're around the guys. In order to get back on track, right? What do y'all have to improve on from what y'all did the previous weekend?
Yeah, you mentioned it best, but I think obviously the walks have got to go, and I think that's something that we have a TV in our locker room that it's a pitching staff TV, and it kind of shows you where every pitcher's at, first pitch strikes, kind of the stuff that kind of hints at like when these numbers are right, obviously you're pitching good. So I think that obviously the walks, first pitch strikes, 2 out of 3, stuff like that puts you in a good like zone, and I think that we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't stress about it too much, and I think that whoever goes out tomorrow is gonna set the tone tomorrow.
No doubt.
Real quick.
I thought you were going to ask who's going out tomorrow.
No, I think we all know it's going to be Newt, but
He doesn't know.
Yeah, it's up to the staff. Who am I? Who am I to say? But
Why don't you text Jay and tell him it should be Newt?
yeah, well, but like, hey, you got guys, you got plenty of arms out there. But whenever you have the defense that you have behind you, how easy is it, or how much simpler does it feel when you have not only the defense behind you, but also wanted to ask about the catching? When you have 2 new catchers, you obviously had the stalwart back there and Milazzo, and now you have 2 new guys. What has it been like working with either Louis or Aaron Beatty?
Yeah, it's been really nice. Kind of, Louise actually didn't. I'm not sure if he caught a lot last year, which is
I don't think he
which is
did.
insane because he's a really good catcher, and Coach Jordan has done a really good job of kind of. We have 4 new catchers, which is a lot. Like just setting the tone and what's going to happen this year, and I think that he's done a good job. It's Louise he's very
Tranquilo?
yeah, he's very I guess that's the word. But he's done a good job of kind of setting the tone for us and kind of getting us in the glove. And I think that Milazzo was a kind of a guy that has helped me out a lot last year as well. And obviously the middle infield, third base, first base. I mean, the play Jared made and obviously the ones that Monster made last week were insane. So when you have that behind you, it obviously
The barehander Saturday.
yeah, it's insane. Like it's really impressive, and shout out to them for kind of setting the tone back there and getting us in the.
Luis had a good game too. He feels like he's starting to like kind of find it a little bit.
Yeah, that was a big game. Actually, his the pitcher that pitched against us on Friday night was his teammate last year.
Yeah,
so
He hit the homer off of, right?
that was big for him, and
Yeah.
he was pumped up.
Yeah, I'll bet.
One more from Titan
Yep.
droppings.
Oh shit.
Does LSU baseball have the worst defensive outfield in the past few decades? I'll go to you.
Honestly, I would say the opposite. And I think
Thank
we
you.
have the 3 fastest guys in the outfield together. I think that they track balls down, and I think that the outfield gets ashamed. It sucks, but they never take into consideration the 6-game streak Stanfield had of diving catches in a row. Like they never think about that stuff, and I think that a one drop ball is not going to determine if you're a good or bad outfield.
No, I think they're pretty good.
I'm pretty sure every outfielder has dropped the ball.
I concur.
Yes, I concur. We've talked about that too. Dude, we appreciate you coming on. You're awesome. We're going to continue to be fans of you, continue to watch you, hopefully get you back on at some point throughout the course of the season.
Hey, we got you from midweek to Friday. What more can we do?
That's it. That's it. We'll keep pushing. Midweek to Friday, it's a top 10 pick.
First
It's a top
rounder.
10 pick.
There
That's
we go.
it.
Let's
Not
go.
just first rounder, top 10, baby. You got
Cover the show.
Maybe if you go back into the first round, you get him for another year. Too high.
Yeah.
He may be out of
Maybe
here.
pump the
I guess
brakes
we'll
a little
never
bit.
So we'll never. We'll have to see. TBD. Dude, we appreciate
Yeah, come
you.
back.
Good luck this weekend, and we'll be watching. We'll be at the game watching.
No, I appreciate y'all's time.
Yep.
It's been an honor.
Thank you, man.
Thank y'all.
Yep.
Honor's a little high.
All right, brother. See you.
It's been an honor for us, not for
Absolutely.
you, Lloyd.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Thank y'all.
Yep.
Appreciate it, brother.
Um.
I wonder if we're gonna have another left wallet key situation.
I don't know.
We'll
I
see.
don't see him. I don't see him. He's great.
Great.
Just how I thought. Jamie sent me a text. He goes, "Kate, you're gonna love talking to Kate.
Yeah.
First class human being." I was like, I've heard. I was like, I've gotten to know him a little bit, not much, but he is awesome. Loves LSU, which is important. Very important.
Seems to be in just a little bit more here. Like you saw at Texas and the what are those?
Tell you what, I feel like he's gonna have to they're gonna have to pay him some doll hairs to get him out of LSU coming back next year.
Loves it.
I believe that's the case.
And
He didn't say anything about that. I'm just
just
based off having
feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
Well, it
LSU up by 30.
I believe if he keeps pitching the way he does, he might not have a shot.
I agree. I think if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Because I think he's only going to continue to increase velocity as he gets stronger and bigger. And the fact that he's developed that slider and his changeup's good, and knowing how good his breaking ball is,
can't put a price on LSU though.
nope.
Talked about the vibes.
Talked about the vibes.
That means that means like that's the difference between a good team and a great team and a championship team. To me,
100%.
like when you have good relationships and you feel like you're friends with people on the team, that's huge.
100%.
Like hanging out outside of baseball instead of just like I see you at the field. Like you saw in 2023 when like Skeens would show up with the shirt on, and it was like always a different teammate or something like that. Like there's little things that happen when you have this going on. Like they feel good about where they are,
No doubt. And listen,
and people are panicking.
you are going to have losses. It's going to happen. The national championship team didn't win every series.
Had to play every game on the schedule.
Right. Like, it is going to – it's just inevitable. You went on – now, if you lost – like I said this to you this morning, Lloyd. If you lost this game on the road against Missouri, all right, you can have some concern. Damn, we got beat by a supremely inferior team than us. We shouldn't have lost this game. We played sloppy. That'd be one thing. You went on the road against a top 5 team, against a team who's good, who's going to be probably a regional host this year, and you had a chance to win a series on Saturday. It didn't work out, and then on Sunday you probably played a C-plus game, and you were still one swing away from tying the game up. So, it wasn't ideal, but it's not the end of the world. It was inevitable. You weren't going to win every series. The league's too good for that to happen. And here's the other deal. Before I throw it to Jared, LSU's 4-2 in conference. There's a bunch of teams 4-2 right now. Right? Georgia's 5-1, Arkansas's 5-1, Tennessee's 5-1, Texas is 5-1. All right, take Texas out because you already played them. You play Arkansas at home, you play Tennessee at home, and you play Alabama at home. All three of those teams are above you right now in the standings, and you play all three of them on your conference schedule at home. I don't give a shit about losing the series. Yeah, I'd like to win it, but it ain't the end of the world. You're 4-2. You're not 2-4. It's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with any of that at all, man. Like, I go back and look through the numbers and stuff like that. And I guess you could say, hey, they walked 7 on Saturday, but how many did they walk on Friday?
None.
I don't think any,
0.
especially not Kade. How many did they walk on Sunday? Oh, 2. They hit nobody. They hit no batters on Sunday. They hit no batters on. So they didn't give away a ton of free bases. You went on the road in conference and you got beat at somebody else's place. Guess what? I promise you, if you go through the entire conference schedule and you find a way to win the home series and you don't get swept on the road, you're going to find yourself at the top of the conference by the end of the year. So you didn't get swept on the road. Of course they wanted to win. Of course they wanted to sweep. They wanted a series win, but you didn't get the absolute gusto kind of put on you right there. So to me, when I look at it, there was guys that was given the opportunity to kind of grow. And if they were able to grow in that spot in this point of the year, you find more guys that you can count on as you get late to the year. And I'm not saying that those guys are out, that like they're outside of the ability to find a way to be able to be counted on as the year goes. But you learn, okay, we still have a ways to go right now. And look, this team is very good, but we can go back to Jay even pointed out, and I'm not just talking about pitchers, right? I'm talking about a lot of guys. Jay pointed it out last week. There was one guy on that staff, and he was just here, that had pitched innings in SEC ball, right? There's guys in the lineup that have not had that many at-bats, have not had that many opportunities in SEC ball. This is still a very young team in terms of SEC play, in terms of experience. And I do think when you go on the road in the SEC, it ain't just about talent. You got to bring some damn experience. Go back to 22. That team got thumped up and down the lineup. They got beat all over the place. Bring a lot of those same guys back, and obviously Paul Skeens the next year, you can win a natty. This team has to learn. They got to grow. They're going to grow, and they are learning, and I expect them to continue to get better as the season goes.
Let me ask you this. Because, look, on Sunday they only walked 2 guys. That wasn't the issue why they lost, right? The reason why they lost is they weren't able to drive guys in whenever they had the opportunities. The guy for Texas threw well, right? He had a good outing. And our starter, Chase Shores, did not throw well, right? He wasn't missing a lot of bats. He was giving up, they were working deep counts. I mean, his first inning, he threw, I think, almost 40 pitches, right? Which kind of puts you behind the 8 ball. And so my question to you, Jared, is does that concern you? We all know how good he is and how good he can be and how he's coming off of injury. And I believe that he's going to be fine. But does it concern you that he's not missing bats right now with his fastball?
No, it doesn't really concern me. I said it, I don't know, I feel like I said it like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I said, and I don't know if I said it on the show, I think I just said it to y'all. I felt like he was a contact guy that has top end velocity. Now, people are like, well, what the hell does that mean? Like, I just see like his fastball, when it's in the zone and when he's on, he's going to be in the zone a ton. And it's not necessarily like, you just know those guys that feel like swing and miss guys. But with that being said, I think once he starts incorporating a third pitch, so not just the fastball slider, once he really starts getting into a third pitch that he can kind of throw and flip in there early in counts and kind of get people off of just the fastball, I feel like that's when he takes off. But I also feel like that's something that starts to come as he gets more feel and as he gets more experience. And when I say experience, like, once again, that guy missed almost 2 seasons. Right? So if you're asking him to be at the top of his game right now in March, I think that's a little silly of us.
Yep. Look
Look back last year. Was Gage jump at the top of his game in March? No. It took him the second half of the season, and that's when you literally, it was almost like the tale of 2 halves for him. I think Chase Shores is going to be somewhere around there, and I think once he really starts to get comfortable, he is going to end up being one of the, if not the biggest, probably one of the biggest X factors on this team.
Yeah.
Because if I can throw a guy like that on Sunday, and he can find that third pitch and do what he needs to do, it's going to put other teams in a very tough spot, because I promise you won't be able to match what he has and what he brings to the table. And that being said, what also may be available still in the bullpen by that time of the series.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, I agree with you 100%. I wanted to pose a question because there are a lot of people talking about that because hey, look, rightfully so. He throws hard, upper 90s. He hasn't gotten a lot of swings and misses. You automatically assume this guy throws hard. He should get a bunch of swings and misses on his fastball. That's not the case for a couple reasons. One, because everybody sees that now. Like 98 miles an hour is a lot more common than it was in the past. And two, he doesn't have that extra giddy up. He has a little bit more of a sinker, right? So there's going to be more contact. Doesn't mean it's going to be hard contact like it was this past Sunday, but there's going to be more contact. Now, I would like to see him.
Is he flat?
What?
Is it flat?
Well, anybody has got a sinker that if they pitch at all up in the zone,
right,
that sinker flattens out there. So if he's, and that's what I mean by the sharpness of it. Like if he's able to consistently start getting back to the bottom of the zone and using that, it becomes a different ballgame for him.
One of the hardest pitchers I ever faced in my entire career, the guy I hated facing the most, and this is when he was like top of baseball as a right-handed pitcher, but he didn't throw overly hard. And it wasn't like he was blowing you away with 100, and that was Corey Kluber. And the way Corey Kluber would throw, he would throw his hard sinker off the plate away and make it run back on. Then he would throw a slider in that same location, and he would get you looking that way. And he would locate, and then all of a sudden you start creeping in, and boom, 96 on your hands, get you back off the plate, get you back away. I'm not saying that's how he needs to pitch. I'm not a pitching coach. I'm not saying that's the way he needs to pitch. But I'm saying that if he's able to locate the sinker and be able to go inside and outside with it, I think that opens up a whole different type of ball game for him.
Yep, I agree with that. I think right now in his game, the sharpness, if you will, is missing. But I think being able to have that sharpness also comes with time on the mound in real games, right? And I think that's what he's getting, and he's going to get to that spot later in the year. And honestly, I think that's when you want him peaking, not right now for him.
Hey, let's talk about Case and Evans a little bit. You have a question before I get to the Case and Evans?
Oh, I was just going to say for this conversation that we're having about Shores, like what percentage of like back do you think he is? Like I don't think he's at 100, but I'm just wondering where you
health-wise?
Yeah,
health-wise,
no,
100%.
100% healthy. I'm talking about pitch-wise. Like, cause those are two different things.
70%.
Yeah.
75.
I'd say 75, maybe 80. Maybe.
That's a good thing.
The only time you get to 100% is when you get innings, right? Mm-hmm. You get pitches, and you have like, and I wasn't just saying this to be a homer and be positive, Mikey, and saying this last weekend is going to be good for them in the future. Like, you need to go through some of that stuff to be able to realize what you need to do to get better. If you continue. What did Saban say? You said this on game day. The worst thing that happens to good teams is playing really bad against the team and winning, because you don't learn anything, right? That's like the worst thing you can have. That can happen.
Play bad and win.
Play bad and win, right? And so being able to go through this early in the season and still have a winning record in the SEC, I think that's going to bode well for them in the future.
And you got to remember too. So for somebody like Chase, like we forget Chase's competition in his past of pitching is high school ball and honestly before he really ever played SEC ball. So he's getting a chance to now be healthy, to now get into the SEC and understand that, man, maybe I got to be a little more fine with that pitch because it was working against North Dakota State. It worked against these other teams, but if I'm going to miss right here, it gets hit harder. So maybe I got to get a little bit to this other spot. Maybe there's just little things that you do that you just learn once you start pitching in this kind of league against this kind of competition that if you haven't done it, you won't know. You just won't.
Right. LSU women's basketball is up by 33 points in the fourth quarter, 99-66.
Got two futures on them.
What do we? What are your thoughts on Case and Evans?
What do you mean? What are my thoughts on?
I mean, he's electric.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
I mean, he's a future rotation guy. Like he's not going to be able to pin his whole career.
Here's my only thing about that, and I'm not sitting here saying that he's not. Like I'm really not. And I understand a lot of these guys were starters once they showed up here. I do, and I understand that he's pitching with 1, 2, and 3 pitches. Like I get it. I wonder about his
mechanics.
He pitches, and look, it's like kind of easy, but he pitches at such like a high octane, almost like max effort type of guy. So I wonder, does that get dialed back, or can he pitch like that as a starter? When I'm watching the stuff is absolutely chart topping. Like, it's watching him pitch is pretty damn impressive, especially for the age that he is right now. And the demeanor that he brings out there, I wonder if he brings that same demeanor out as a starter, if he brings that same energy out as a starter. But I'm so much enjoying watching him at the back end of the bullpen.
The makeup, the makeup on the mound, the way, like, I want to see him be able to throw 7 innings that way, because what he brings, like, it's just, you see it when Kade's on the mound, you see it when certain guys are on the mound, like the energy they bring and like the demeanor they have, it's contagious amongst everybody else. But he's been impressive all year. That was his longest outing of the year, and he was equally as impressive in that.
How many innings did he go?
3 1/3.
How many do you think he's got?
3 1/3.
Right now, it's probably close to his max, maybe 4 innings max.
Like, you would feel confident if you have a.
I think it's more pitch count than innings.
Okay.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably.
I mean, he was a starter in high school. I mean, obviously,
right.
And played shortstop. Like, so he's got the ability to go extended innings.
Bro, they all do. And look, I'm bringing this up, and look, I get it, man. Like, it's not the same thing. All these guys did that shit in high school, so I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, he's got no chance to do it. The only reason I bring this shit up is because I'm looking at a kid that was a freshman All-American. He may have been just an All-American as well last year as a closer at Arkansas, which was arguably the best pitching staff in America. He's got a 6.5 this year as a starter.
Right.
It changes.
So that's where I'm sitting here saying, like, I want to know if he can bottle that up and bring it to that spot. But right now, what he's doing as a closer, it's impressive. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm sold just because it's 1, 2, and 3 pitches that he'll get into a rotation and do the same thing.
100%.
I love what I see with him.
And look, here's a prime example of that. We've seen that from a couple guys. From our time, Matty Ott was a closer, not a starter. Right? Zach Hess, closer, not a starter. Right? They tried to start, and Zach, I love Zach. And I think he was. I don't think he was a bad starter, but he was an elite closer. Right? And so, I mean, you see it that way sometimes.
I respectfully mean this, man. Name me the last starter in the SEC, whether it's LSU or not, that you can remember off the top of your head that when he first popped on the scene, he was a closer or back into the bullpen guy, and when they transferred him to a starter, it went equally as well.
Sonny Gray. That's it. Sonny Gray
When
did
did Sonny Gray pitch in the SEC?
What's that?
When did Sonny Gray pitch in the SEC?
Yeah, when we were there, 9, 10, 11, when I was there.
10 plus years ago. That's my point. Like, I ain't saying
look,
it can't be done.
there may be some other ones. I don't know.
No, I think that proves his point.
I just don't remember. I'm not saying no one else has done it, but I'm just saying who's popped off to where you 100%.
100%. I'm with you. That was a Vanderbilt thing too. Vanderbilt used to do that. They did it with David Price. They would throw their elite freshman as their closer, and then they'd start the next 2 years and they'd be gone. That was like a Vandy thing back then.
The Vandy boys.
But yeah, I mean, and look, it may happen. It may work. Your rotation in the future may.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying off the top of your head, which one? What do you remember it happening?
Yeah, I mean,
and it feels like baseball has changed. It's so specialized now to where it feels like you kind of have a role. I only brought it up because there's been a lot of conversation about
putting him in the rotation this year.
Not even that. I was about the bullpen and like how you spread it out, because you had Cowan go on Friday, which I think is the dumbest conversation ever.
You win that game.
Do you want to go get a win?
And use 2 guys. Use one guy at the bullpen. That was the answer. Like, you can't.
You set yourself up to win one of two.
You can't predict how Saturday and Sunday are going to go. You just can't predict. Worst case scenarios. What happens if you don't throw them on Friday? The game gets tight. You have to use 4 different guys
on Saturday.
You have to use 4 different guys, and then what happens on Saturday if you end up getting blown out and you don't get to use them, and then on Sunday you're like, shit, I guess I got to throw them now. We're down 5 runs, right? Like, it's the same conversation. I'd rather you do the way you did it. Now, obviously on Saturday you wish that would have gone differently,
but you're in the fight.
But you're in the fight,
and the only reason that's
easy to look at. It's easy to look at it on Monday.
Quarterback's great.
Yeah.
But on Friday, if you're away and you have a chance to get a win, I don't care if you're up by 6 or you're up by 16, secure an SEC win on a Friday.
Your ace had an unbelievable start. Win the game.
Go win the game. Don't waste that.
Yep.
Because if you go back and look at it and you don't do that and you do whatever happened on Saturday, if you put Benj in and he gives up a 3-run bomb, or you put in Schmidt and he walks people, and then you go, damn, you spoiled a 6-run lead. You didn't use Cowan?
100%. And look, the deal is,
So
like,
goddamn dumb.
if you told Jay before the series started, hey, on Friday, you're going to use Kade Anderson and you're going to use Zach Cowan, you're going to win the game, he'd be like, huh, I feel awesome about the
I'll
weekend.
cash my chips in
Right?
right
Like,
now.
now I got the whole bullpen rested for the entire rest of the weekend. Like, I feel really good about that. That was the move. I don't even think there's an argument to that.
No, I agree with that. And when I sit there and I look at, if you looked at their bullpen and what you've seen from them this year, and you realize like they don't have a ton of depth either. On Saturday, when you're down 8-7, I'm sitting here probably thinking, probably not necessarily for sure, but like there's the case to be made in saying, well, I think our bullpen will out bullpen them tomorrow. I'm not going to go ahead and say, let me put Case and Evans in right now and keep us at this 1 run to make sure we score and win.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of things that you can, and there's a lot of things you could have gone differently. The fact of the matter is, if you want to come away with any kind of red flag off the weekend, is Sunday, I need my lineup to show better.
Yeah.
But then you also got to show love where love is due. Ruger, Ohasa, whatever his name is, I forget his name, the guy that threw on Sunday, he threw his ass off, man. He threw his ass off. He threw into the 6, gave up only 7 hits, 2 earned runs. No, he only walked 1. Like, he threw his ass off. And in that situation, that's where you're like, all right, that's where my lineup, I need him to grow, I need him to learn, I need him to lock in a little bit more, because when we get in those situations, I feel good enough about my pitching staff, and I need you guys to go out there and make sure we just score runs. We score runs, we put pressure on other people in those situations, we win ball games.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Texas played outside of Friday. Texas played a perfect weekend for them. They don't have the depth in the bullpen that they want to have. They probably have 7 guys that they can count on in the bullpen, and they used the 7 guys, and all those guys pitched the way they needed to pitch for them to win, and they didn't have to use over those 7 guys. They lost 9-2 on Friday, and then on Sunday they used 2 guys. A guy who hadn't started all year, goes out and throws a A+ performance. And then you bring in your next guy, he throws 3 1/3, and he gets you through the game, right? And then on Saturday, they only threw 3 guys. So, like, they played it well. They played it perfectly for them, and it worked out, right?
I think that's the frustration of this entire series, is because you had them kind of bent over the barrel after Friday, after what they had to do in the midweek to throw 6 guys, and then you come in with a TBA starter on Sunday, and you're like, okay, after you win on Friday, it feels like you're going to win the series, and then for you to kind of fumble it away in a sense, it felt like I think that's more of the frustration, and you have to blame something, so people just look at the bullpen.
And I think you're not wrong about that. I think it in the SEC, truly, man, it boils down. I would imagine, I would love to know the average win total number of runs of the teams that win on Sunday in the SEC. Like, I'm a firm believer, when we get to Sunday, we got to go out bang somebody.
Yeah.
We just got to beat them offensively. Like, if you're thinking that we're going to sit here and score 2 and win 2-1 ball games on Sunday, you're not going to make it. You're not going to last long in this league. I think you got to go out hit people and beat them on Sunday. And we didn't do that.
That's what baseball has turned into, especially in college ball. Like, it's
always been that way, though.
Yeah, but it's an offensive sport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, you're not going to go, like,
Well, I mean, it's been that way in everything, though. Like, if I go to the big leagues, like, everybody knows, hey, man, good luck getting the ace, right? Now, if they got 2 aces and they got a 1A and a 1B, or a really good guy they get at day 2, good luck getting him. But you knew if you were coming in the series and you're probably getting the 3 through 5 starters, let's go.
Yeah, you get your hits. You get your hits through 3 through 5.
You got to go
and you got to grind out through 1 and 2. That's the way that works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's part of the frustration, is you got your, like, Friday was a tilt, like, good on good. And then you felt like, because of what, like, you believe in Shores and him being your Sunday guy, when it feels like before the year, it's like, oh, he could be a Friday guy. And then you see that happen, and you're like, oh, it's set up for you to win the series. And I think
but truthfully, like,
I think that's just a
what
conjecture.
did we actually see happen? Like, I mean, like, he left the game after 4 innings.
You're still in
only
it.
he gave up 5 runs. Like,
Right.
I'm not sitting here saying, like, I would love to see that happen every time. But if a team's scoring, averaging 10 a game, I got to feel like I still got a chance right there.
100%.
I just do.
Well, you only give up 6 runs. You got to 5-2. You had a chance to tie the game that inning. And then you had the diving play in left field where Curiel missed the dive. It was a triple and the run scored.
Yeah.
Right? Like
And it's
that,
the worst
and that was it.
Decades.
And that was it. 6-2. Right? 4-run game. Like, that's not – you didn't get your ass beat. Right? I know people said, oh, they came out flat, and that's – we talked about that this morning. People talk about, oh, you came out flat. And this baseball is a different animal. You can't just look with your eyeballs and say, oh, these guys came out
They don't care.
flat. They didn't care. Right? Basketball, you can tell. Obviously, if the team is just playing lax. Football, definitely can tell. Guys aren't pursuing. Guys aren't making tackles. Guys are doing whatever. In baseball, there's a bunch of different reasons why you may look lethargic. First inning, your pitcher throws almost 40 pitches, long inning, right? You come back in, boom, they get you out of the inning really quick. So you're back out in the outfield. That's how a team
Shit
can
rolls
look
downhill.
lethargic. That just happens sometimes. But what LSU didn't do was cave and give up 15 runs and boot every ball and look terrible. It was 6-2, and they kept themselves in the game, and they didn't get enough hits they needed to, and that's the big issue. That's the bigger issue. That's not an issue, but that's the bigger issue of
That's
Sunday.
the reason.
You got to just score more runs.
It's the first time probably, since even against Omaha when you lost that game, you've lost how many, Mikey, this year?
2 games.
2. And even
3 games.
3.
3.
Oh, yeah, 3 now with 2 Texas losses. But, like, even in the Omaha series, whenever they lost that game, like, the offense still battled back and made it a 1-run game at the end. Like, you had second and third and, 2 out, one out, and had a chance to win it, and you didn't. And this is just the first time it feels like the offense kind of failed you in a little bit. But that was going to happen.
This was a top 10 team that you played against on the road.
People forget.
It wasn't a scrub. We lost to Illinois when I was in my freshman year.
They lost to Southern last year.
You know, like, it's not.
We lost a series to Illinois.
We
not
lost a
just
series
one
to
game.
Illinois. Yeah, like we didn't lose one game. We lost 2 games to Illinois.
Let me go back to Tiger droppings.
All right, and then we lost 2 games to Tennessee that year, who was awful. They were the worst team in the SEC. So like, shit happens, right? Those 2 series were more concerning than this one on the road against a top 10 team. I can promise you they're going to be better.
In the Yeti yard.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they hit a home run. He's like, he did it. He went deep to the Yeti
I tell you
yard.
what, dude, that catcher for Texas is good. He's swinging a hot bat.
He's swinging.
Right now.
Yeah, he feels he's feeling himself right now.
Yeah.
And he didn't get fooled much either, man.
No.
Even the stuff he wasn't hitting hard, or the swings he was taking, it was full hacks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was going Oppo, his pool side. Curiel, Oppo, Taco.
Cool. He was fired up. I wanted to ask Kade about that. That's just like the most I've seen emotionally from him. Because, okay, we didn't talk about this. The curtain call in the 5th inning on Saturday was bizarre. From Texas. Jared, have you ever seen a curtain call in the 5th?
Was it in the 5th?
Yeah.
To the reliever that came out?
No, the guy that hit the home run to put Texas up after, like, Curiel hit the home run the next inning.
I must have been in the bathroom for that. I missed that. I must have been in the bathroom. I missed that.
It was the guy that was the catcher, right? That's who they threw on homer.
I don't care. But I've never seen a curtain call in the 5th in my entire
Right.
life.
The game's got a lot of game left.
And then Curiel takes the
I
lead
missed
back,
that.
and that's why he was all fired up. He was like, are y'all kidding me?
Yeah.
And then they stopped showing it. If you were watching the broadcast, they showed it, and then they would cut it off whenever they were replaying it. Like, this is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, 5th inning curtain call in the
I
middle.
thought he had cancer.
Yeah, I must have missed that part.
Like, I can understand I've seen a 5th inning curtain call whenever you got your 3,000th hit, or like a monumental moment, like a monumental homer. You know, hey, 500th homer, boom, curtain call, whatever. Not a hey, we took the lead with a 3-run home run on game 2 of a series
freshman.
on the second SC series of the year. Like, no.
Yeah, well,
Hey, some people measure success differently, man. Respect it. All right.
that's right.
That's a very good point.
It's got to be at least 10,000.
LSU women's basketball into the Sweet 16.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. With a 30-point win. You want to watch the Bachelor, Lloyd?
No,
Oh, who wins?
I don't know.
I would love to do this.
What?
Where you spend a lot of time on the zip line.
Dude. That's so funny.
I would love to do. I have convinced myself I can't do it. I can't do Survivor. I'd be terrible at that. But like Big Brother or The Bachelor, I would love to do. I want more of like I think
You could do The Bachelor, you think?
Oh, I'd get kicked out immediately. But I would love to just kind of monitor the vibes.
I think people would like you there.
Yeah,
They keep-
I wouldn't win, but I'd like boys.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Y'all like this girl?
Could you imagine Lloyd on The Bachelor? Oh my God.
Hey, Jared, you think
Montoya, por qué?
is Georgia
Oh
real?
my goodness. I want to see him away from home, man, honestly,
me
but
too.
I do think the lineup's real. I think the lineup's even more real than it was probably last year, just in terms of like when you get a team that does what they did last year, and then they have another guy who stepped in and basically, dare I say, has replaced Condon, which is crazy to think about. I think the lineup is real. I want to see them pitch, and honestly, swing it as well. But I want to see them pitch and play away from that place and see what we really get.
You know what's wild?
But I do think I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they're a host site again this year.
You know what's wild is they have two guys. Like they have a bunch of homers. I'm trying to see. They don't have it on the thing, but they have two guys. One, the guy you're talking about, Rylan Zabrkowski, 14 homers. He's hitting 467 with 14 homers. And you got Robbie Burnett, who's a right fielder. He's hitting 383 with 13. And you got four other guys. 4 other guys hitting. One's hitting 319, 308, 304, 303. All between 5 and 7 homers. So you got those two guys. Those two guys obviously driving the big home run numbers for them. But dude, 14 and 13, 48 RBIs and 41 RBIs. That's pretty insane.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I want to see him away from Georgia. As it happened whenever they had Charlie Condon, they did get away from Georgia, and it was.
What's he doing?
Not that they were bad. It just wasn't as balls weren't going over the fence as much.
God, remember when they lost?
Yeah.
Who hit the homer against Georgia in 2023 when LSU was scuffling? Remember that conversation? They didn't sweep any SEC series. They just kept winning them, and they almost lost the series to Georgia at Georgia. And I think it might have been Thompson, but it might have been his compadre at second.
Dugas?
It might have been Dugas that went.
Dugas that year, if there was a big homer to be hit, it felt like
Texas.
Dugas was hitting it in the regular season.
But
And he got hurt, remember?
Yeah, shoulder.
And that was like, yeah.
But it's just so fun to look back at even
One
that.
thing I guarantee you no one had on their bingo card is you'll see Florida and A&M sitting here at 0-6 after 2 weeks in.
0-6, dude.
But
Nobody had that one.
And like not even like, well, A&M's been very competitive in majority of their games, honestly. Florida have been got their ass beat this weekend.
But would you not say
Nobody had that.
Yeah, but would you not say, like, I'm sure they said the same thing about LSU last year. Like, they're not dead.
No.
Like
No. I'm not saying at all that they're dead. There's a lot of talent there, and there's a lot of ability for them to come back. But what we are saying is, just like you watched LSU last year, it is hard for you to climb to the top of that standing pole when you do what they've done over the first 2 weeks. Yeah. So you almost kind of feel like I'd be hard-pressed. I wouldn't mind putting a bet on saying that they wouldn't win conference. Now, I'm not saying that really means that they can't do anything in the postseason, obviously. But sitting here through 2 weeks, nobody would have sat here and said, yeah, I think Florida or A&M will be 0-6 and kind of be the ones that you're looking at like, oh, I don't
remember last year Florida was a conversation of should they be in the postseason or not.
And so was LSU.
Yeah.
Right? Well, LSU had more like their record was significantly better than Florida's, but Florida was like almost 500.
Yeah.
Florida had to win a couple games in the SEC tournament to get above 500 to even qualify for the postseason. And then they ended up making a run. Did they make it to Omaha?
No, they made a run, though.
They went to the Supers, I think.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
But it was the same thing last year, right? Now, you could be Mississippi State. You win the World Series, and then you're 36-60 since.
Oh, Tanner, what's his name?
Lamonis?
Tanner Allen? Mississippi State. He said nerds can't watch baseball. He's on Twitter a lot.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about. I thought you were talking about their coach.
No, the mop. Their mop. Give him hint lessons if you want to take some.
Yeah.
Release the barrel.
I thought that was dead, Lloyd.
Oh, boy.
But yeah.
But that goes to show, like, look at the SEC and how hard it is, and then to be where you are right now, be 4-2 in the league, and you're in second place. It's a long season.
I mean, it's the second weekend.
8 series
Like,
left.
that's everybody just needs to relax. Like, it wasn't going to be perfect. You knew this was going to happen. Everyone going into your knows this is going to happen at some point.
And they refuse
always
to believe it.
And they always panic when it happens. Like, if this happens last year, we were talking about the same thing. Oh, it's fine, it's fine. And then we were like, okay,
We're
now
actually
it's
running out of time.
Now it's time to panic. You're running out of time, right? Like, this is not the
Yeah.
panic time. Like, it just happens. It's part of it.
Now, if they get swept by Mississippi State at home.
Oh, that'd be good.
But probably not
And we talked about it too. We talked about it, but like I'm a big believer in it matters kind of how you lose. And truthfully, nothing really put up the red flag for me in terms of how they played this weekend, in terms of how they lost.
Right.
So like I'm like, you get baseball, man. Like you play as well as they played for that many games in a row. Sooner or later, the monkey was going to kind of come a little bit. It came to me in Sunday. It didn't really come Saturday. It came Sunday a little bit. Now it's like, all right, let's see how you go forward from here.
There's a reason why baseball plays the most games of any sport. Because you can't judge the teams based off a small sample size. It's got to be long term. You know, you see some of the best teams in Big League Baseball get beat by the worst teams in Major League Baseball.
That's why it's a 7-game series.
That's why exactly.
Mike Piazza ain't walking through that door.
Are y'all going to? Are you going to the game tomorrow, Lloyd?
Yeah, oh my God.
I won't be there.
Yeah.
I know, Jared, you're not gonna be there, but you'll be there in spirit. You'll be watching it.
Yeah, I'll be watching. I won't be there personally, but I'll be watching.
When's the debut for SEC Network this year? Have you gotten your schedule yet?
April 10th. I don't have the rest of the schedule, but April 10th.
Debut. Love that.
D-Butt.
That is
Yearly D-Butt.
What is that? What game is that? That is the Auburn series.
I don't know. But see, I don't know.
That is the Thursday.
I know. I'm pretty sure that's a Thursday, right?
Yep, Thursday before the Auburn series.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
There
At
you go.
Auburn.
Over under fist fight.
There you go.
On the in the stands?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
1.5. Somebody's fighting.
I think you're gonna be disappointed.
Uh-uh.
I think it's gonna be raucous, but I think you're gonna be disappointed on like. Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of juice.
Nobody's
on the
getting
field.
their wristband snatched, or their drinks left out of their hand.
Water hose boys.
Maybe you never know.
St.
Never
Patrick's Day. Nobody's leaving with a black eye.
Or a bloody nose.
Hey, I'm gonna say this again, man. I do mean this. That atmosphere. I think those kids at Texas are gonna go around the league this year and be like, "Damn,
We gotta get better.
this shit is crazier than I thought it was, or than I heard it was." Because that atmosphere wasn't. It ain't bad, man. I'm not sitting here trying to say it was shit, but it didn't. It wasn't like rowdy, and it wasn't like. It just felt kind of like we just casually kind of here, if that makes any sense.
Yep. 100%. They'll catch up though.
There was no Chris
they won't.
Giats.
No, they won't.
Maybe
Nope, there's nobody doing that.
No, I'm telling y'all. Like, I've been to Austin. They don't care. I've been there for ACL whenever, like, in the full swing in October. LSU was playing Auburn at Auburn. It was Brandon Harris's first start. Terrible decision by Les. To, like, let's throw him to the Wolves in a night game at Auburn for your first start. He was calling high school plays on the huddle. And, like, they didn't even know that they had a home game in Austin, and nobody knew. Nobody cared. Like, that's just, they think they're too good for football.
So you're saying they're pompous.
They are. Hoity-toity.
Matthew McConaughey. Fighting Matthew McConaughey's.
Fuck.
I'll be at the game tomorrow, though.
Yeah, I have heard
I'm
the.
bringing Allie.
I have heard
I was
the
about to
football
ask if I
crowd
could get
is
a
kind of
ticket.
the same.
Allie's making her season debut tomorrow.
You might be early.
Maybe early. Never know.
I doubt it.
Lloyd, what are you eating for dinner tonight?
I'm probably going to have some treats from Indigo Papers.
That chip.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Lloyd, because our home here at Indigo they've been very gracious to us. They've opened up their home for us to make it our home. They have allowed it to make us our home. And we have rewarded them with purchasing things off of their website, indigopapers.com, and giving them some business because they've earned it and they deserve it because their products are amazing, right? And so we want to give you that same opportunity to enjoy the spoils
Accoutrement.
of a nice, relaxing day.
420 somewhere.
A long, stressful day. You don't want to go and drink because hangovers are bad? Check out IndigoPapers.com. You have a nice, relaxing weekend, weather nice, you want to watch some baseball, you want to just hang out, play golf, go check out the stuff on IndigoPapers.com. And when you do that and you do add things to your cart and you want to go and you want to buy it, be sure to go to the promo code and type in Mik'dUp15 for 15% off your order. I think you have to add your email address, and you can get 15% off your order, IndigoPapers.com. Mik'dUp15 is that order. Also, Indigo Papers, and I'm going to have to pull this up because they sent me what I was supposed to say, and I don't want to mess it up. There you go. There's an event in Baton Rouge called CannaFest, and Indigo Papers is a sponsor of CannaFest. They're a host, not a sponsor. It is on April 12th, and it is at Beauvoir Park here in Baton Rouge. It's a full day of music, vibes, and community. Couldn't have better vibes. Boys, you've emceed it before. How are the vibes?
I've emceed it before. Vibes are immaculate. They have, whether it be vendors that are selling all sorts of trinkets, games, and obviously, I mean, I don't know if you can sell vibes, but if you could, they're free. So buy one, get one, and then have all of the fun that you could enjoy.
And look, they have a presenting sponsor is Chiba Hut, so you're gonna have some nice sandwiches there when you get a little hungry. And you get the munchies,
blunt.
And you get the blunt. That's what I get over there. They're gonna have music. They're gonna have the nice THC seltzer drinks that Indigo is so famous for, and they will be passing those out. They will be available. Go out there and support them, and to help incentivize you to support them, we're giving away 2 tickets. 2 free tickets to Beauvoir Park on April 12th for CannaFest. It's very easy. We're not going to make this very complicated for you to do. We have Ask Mikey and Mitch tomorrow. On Wednesday. Put your Ask Mikey and Mitch questions
on the Twitter,
or in the chat, and Lloyd is going to pick out the best question, and that person will get 2 free tickets to CannaFest. If you can't go, you have 2 tickets to distribute at your leisure. If you can go, which I recommend you do go, you'll enjoy it and you won't regret it.
Fonz, if you lived here, you would already have them.
I see. I can't do that. That's illegal, Lloyd.
No, I mean, I think he gets the. I'll give him. He's carried the Ask Mikey and Mitch segment throughout the year.
He has.
So if I could give away the 2 tickets, I'd give both to Fonz. But considering I don't know if he'll be here, it's up for grabs.
April 12th, look, LSU's on the road. They're not playing at home. It's April 12th, the weekend before, right? Isn't that the weekend before Easter?
April 20th. It's 8 days.
April 20th is Easter?
I don't know.
Easter Sunday?
This is the Masters week, though.
That is the Masters week.
The 13th.
Which?
Perfect.
Perfect. Sets up perfect.
Hello, friends.
Go to CannaFest, enjoy yourself. Then go to IndigoPapers.com, type in Mik'dUp15. Get the stuff that you need to enjoy the Masters at a level that you didn't even know that you needed to enjoy it at.
Talk about a nap.
Talk about a great day.
A golf
Go
nap.
to sleep with Jim Nance and wake up to Jim Nance.
Yeah. No Tiger, though.
It's okay.
Only Charlie.
Nope, he's not going to be there either.
One day.
Potentially. Try it out. Mik'dUp15 and IndigoPapers.com, and put your questions in the chat.
Put your future on Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, and Jake Knapp. And then take a nap.
Jake Knapp.
Goals.
It lasted a long time. The computer lasted a long time.
Oh, there it goes.
But Jake Knapp, goals with my golf swing. I don't think my golf swing will ever look like that. One can only dream.
God.
Because it is sexy.
Imagine hitting like that and not playing professional golf.
I mean, that's just a perfect swing.
It is.
And he hits it far.
I hit it hard, man.
Yeah. All right. We got some curtain calls? You got a mistake of the day?
Mistake of the day.
You got a mistake of the day.
It's a twofer.
2 for 1.
Talk about. There's a look. Willie Stewart.
Why?
Arrested.
Okay.
Arrested for speeding in excess of maximum limits on
Twice.
March 14th. Then, nary a week later, as she stole the hearts of millions with her mugshot, again for Southern Discomfort, Lou Stewart, nicknamed Miss America after her first viral arrest, was busted again early Sunday, allegedly obstructing an officer and prowling. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
I don't
I
know.
read that. What does that mean, prowling?
But it seems like she went viral for this one.
She's enjoying it.
Back to jail for this one. This is not Instagram, lady.
No.
But good for her. Everybody's trying to capitalize on the moment, as you see, because my curtain call up next is somebody that has capitalized on the moment and what everything about social.
I mean, unbelievable.
Like, dude, we both saw it like a month ago, and I was like, this is bizarre. And now
I
he is
thought to myself, I
officially-
said, there's nobody that's doing this. And, like, if you think people are going to do that, you're stupid.
sleep's better.
And if you sleep is better for you than get up at 3:30 in the morning to do that.
man's doing a whole bunch of dilly dallying.
To do that.
He got ready to get ready to get ready.
Now you got ready to get ready to go get ready for the day.
I mean, what a wild. Hey, listen, whatever floats your boat,
Yeah, that's
whatever
a
you
lot,
do, but
man.
like,
He's a
So, I did-
approaching
you-
10 million followers.
I know. I
We
know.
done fucked up.
He was a running back at
Fool somebody.
he was a running back in college at a small school.
Huh?
I forget what the name. I saw it.
Is it like South Dakota, North Dakota State?
No, it's in the South.
I saw it too. I saw his picture.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing all that. If he would have, he'd be in the league.
That's pretty wild though. What a crazy morning routine that is.
Yeah, fine. Bro, I get up 30 minutes before going to work. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I get up, I go work out, and I come back, and then I'm hurrying in the shower so I can get back to like I don't have that much time.
You can't even make that much time.
I get up
That's
at
because you don't wake up at 4 o'clock.
I get up at 4:45 though, and like
You need 4. 4.
You're right. You're right. I need to be at 4 a.m. club and go do that, and I need to go write 3 words of a sentence in my journal, and I need to close it, and I need to make sure I put everything back where it needs to be. And there's nothing on the desk but the book.
Well, then you got to dunk your face.
Then I gotta dunk my face twice in the morning.
After you wash it off with a banana peel.
After I rinse my face, and then I dump the water out, and then I do it again instead of just keeping the water there, just putting more ice.
That's bad water. Bad water. Bad water. No.
And then
I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you
go.
what, though. I would like to be sitting at my desk and get my breakfast
No
brought to me right
doubt.
here as I'm sitting.
No doubt. What was it? Was that honey he was putting on that?
Yeah, the Mike's Hot Honey.
Is that what that was?
Appreciate you, bro.
And then he gets on there, and then he gets on there in the quote or the what he was talking about. The only volume of the whole thing. I put at least 10,000 on
Got to
it.
get at least 10,000 from that.
What does that even mean? What are you talking about? 10,000 what? $10,000? 10,000 followers? 10,000 likes? What are we talking about there?
10,000 units? Like, what are we talking about
What's
here?
the 10,000?
At least 10,000.
10,000 steps? Like, what are we talking about?
10,000 minutes.
I look, the man
That
is.
was no mistake either. He wanted you to hear
No doubt.
that 10,000. He
No
wanted
doubt.
you to hear that. Wasn't a mistake.
No, and listen, the man's shredded. The man is jacked. The man is. But, like, give me a break, dude. You ain't jacked because you're doing
Green jacket, gold jacket. Who
gives a shit?
Too high. He gives a shit. Yeah, that was another comment on it. It's like, well, they didn't show the part where he shoots himself up with the Trimbalone.
Then there's another one. There's a who's the guy from Bustin' with the Boys? Will Compton. Posts another guy doing the same shit. He said, "This routine saved my life." 3:40 to 5 in the morning. The same stuff. Fucking the nose thing, the mouth
He had the
tape,
mask.
the whole deal. I'm like, oh my god, dude.
We're doing it wrong. Got to be at least 10,000.
At
Like-
least.
At
I
least.
can't get on board with that.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
that
start
was-
waking
yeah,
up
that
at
was a
4
lot.
a.m. I'm going to do it.
All right, curtain calls.
Show my milk
We
body.
got any?
That was my curtain call.
Was that?
Yeah.
I thought they were doing a 2-for-1
No,
mistake
I'm
of
just
the day.
saying, if you talk about going viral, this man's doing it right. She's going to go to jail. This man just waking up, dunking his face in some water.
Then you saw the guy that came out and posted, said, I used to work with this guy for a week, and
So fast.
I was like, then he's outing him, and he's like, this guy doesn't, he's
Can
a
you pay
fraud.
me?
Whatever. I mean, he's got 10 million followers, he's making money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's doing something right because you got somebody at the least fooled.
Would you-
Somebody.
Would you want to
Not
go
me.
viral
10 million
for that?
people.
I mean, I'd like to look like that, but that ain't why.
That
it
shit
like
looks
that.
exhausting.
Yeah. I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. to make a video
And I don't mean looking like that either.
Shit, he did a whole bunch of nothing. He repping out push-ups.
Here's my question.
No.
Never once did we see an actual clock.
He could be doing it at night.
Maybe he's doing it at night.
It could
And
be
he's
6
just
to 10.
he is just putting the clips together and making it seem that way.
I swam earlier today.
Whatever he's doing,
Waste of
he
time.
got somebody fooled. Because there's no way in hell that's what he does every
He
single
didn't
day.
work. He
That's
didn't work
terrible.
for 1 second. Got to
That's
get at least
terrible.
10,000.
Terrible. All right. 10,000. At least 10,000.
At least.
All right. Curtain calls, Jay. What you got?
I got I got nothing.
You know what?
Got at least 1,000 of them.
I had one on my computer and it died on me, and I don't remember what it was. I can't find it on on Twitter. I've been looking for it on my phone.
I stress about this. I wake up at 4 a.m. for these curtain calls, and y'all got nothing.
I did have one, but I don't remember what it was, and it died on me. So I can't go and give you another curtain call. So it'll be the influencer game. That'll be all of our curtain calls. Then they showed. So I actually did some stalking of that guy. I went and found him. Bro, his clips are wild.
Mm-hmm.
The one where he's running with the car next to him, videoing him, like.
And they hand him the water through the car?
Yeah.
I could do a whole show on him.
I mean, it's.
Oh, I mean, I could find it.
Talk about it self-inflated of your self-worth. Is that the word? Overinflation of your self-worth. That's what I'm talking about.
Apparently not. You got 10 million followers. Apparently not.
Yeah, you're right. People like it. I bet you he's cool to hang out with.
This is the tweet. This guy's frying me, bro. All he does is duck his face in ice water.
When does he hang out? He doesn't hang out. Look at that schedule.
Yeah,
There's no hanging out in that schedule. You can't hang out in that schedule.
At least 10,000 times.
Can't hang out in that schedule.
No shot.
Not unless you come and dunk your face in the water with me right after. We can't hang out.
I mean,
he's a hooper too.
Is he good?
Oh, you haven't seen this video?
No.
The ending will shock you. Same thing with some announcers that had some choice.
What?
Words.
What?
Pull a half slice right there. Just bite into it on the court.
Like not even pre-cut. Just hey, here's a slice, a half slice of lemonade. Just eat it.
Lemonade.
I mean, watermelon. Just eat it.
Appreciate
That's
you, bro.
Crazy. That's crazy.
My man's in a suit. My man's in a suit with sunglasses on inside.
Got a watermelon.
With a piece of a watermelon.
Where's the rest of it?
Pocket square fire though.
Seedless watermelon though. You don't see the seeds in it.
Thank you, bro. Got at least 10,000 of them.
Good night. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Hey, bro, can you make sure you get to the gym with that half slice of watermelon today? Because I'm gonna need it at about shot 12 in the gym.
Hey, whenever and then whenever at 12:42, I need you to hand me my glass bottle of water. The same one that I always have. You know what to give me when you give it out my G-Wagon.
So the person, they must be driving his G-Wagon because I can't figure out somebody else that owns a G-Wagon has time to do this shit in the middle of the day. And would agree to this shit too.
Oh my God.
That's crazy work right there. Good for him, man.
Hey man,
God, dog.
get it how you live it, dude. 2025.
Good
man.
night. I gotta go study these comments. I just know them shit. I might skin my knee getting to these comments because these shits gotta be explosive.
You was on Twitter?
I was about to say, speaking of comments, you were on Twitter.
Oh, I was having it. I was ready, baby.
Yeah, I didn't
was
see it.
ready.
I didn't see it till today. I was trying to follow through.
Yeah, I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready. I love it. I love when people come at you with the burner accounts, man, and they got such a take with the burner account, but just won't stamp their name on it. I think it's the craziest shit ever.
Or
man.
not have a picture of themselves on their thing.
Oh, that's definition of a
what
burner.
You want to talk crazy, but you don't even want nobody to know it's you? That's crazy work to me.
Crazy.
Brother, you posted where you were sitting. You come say it to me. I'm right here.
Man, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Oh, that's wild.
We walked out the stadium in the 7th inning last night, Saturday, and I had a dude to me This is in a 7 too, so the game wasn't even like 11-7 yet. I think they did hit the homer, so maybe it was like 9-7.
There's one run game.
Where the hell are you going? I go, did you not just lose 8-2 last night?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like you just won the series or something? Game ain't even over. I'm just leaving to beat the traffic.
It don't matter that much to me. I want them to win, but it don't matter. I'm trying to get out of the traffic. I get that.
Hey, I'm there pulling for the boys, but I'm not the one on the field. I just think it's crazy. They're just talking reckless, as if literally they won the series already at that point, and they're on the way to Omaha.
Hey,
But
did you get on the course this weekend?
that's been Texas stamped.
Did you go?
No, I didn't. I didn't at all.
Hey, me and Lloyd got on the course, and Jared, when I tell you, I hadn't laughed this hard on the course, and you would have been on the ground crying if this situation
What
happened to
happened?
you.
What the hell
So
happened?
we're playing, and great first 9. Right, we're having a good time. Play on 10. We get to 10. We finish 10. We're on 11. We're about to tee off. Well, there's another group coming up to 10, and Lloyd, he had parked the thing, and Lloyd was on the tee box and had taken his driver head cover off and put it down by the thing. And so I'm sitting down there, and I'm in my own world. Look, it's a beautiful, perfect day.
Indigo Papers Day.
And I am in my own world, dude. Like enjoying the day, enjoying the weather. Some guy and his girlfriend pull up in the golf cart, and he's like, "Hey, man,
Is this yours?"
He goes, "Is that mine?" I had no idea. I didn't even see anything happen. And I was like, "Oh, that? Sure, okay."
He
and I
looks
go,
at me, and Mikey goes, "Is this yours?" I see the golf ball.
I say, "Yeah." I look at Lloyd. I said, "Is this yours?" He goes,
It's like,
"No, that's not
no.
mine." I'm thinking like, "All right."
Grabs my head cover off the ground. He's like, "This," and runs it to him. He's like, "That's not mine either." I'm talking about the golf ball. Mikey just takes it and spikes it right in front of him. And he's like, "No, I'm looking for a golf ball." I was like, "Bro, it's right over
I
here."
had no idea there was a golf ball behind me. I thought he was looking for a head cover, and the golf ball was behind and it was a noodle. It was a bad golf ball, but it was.
Oh, then right after, so this guy's in an absolute pretzel. Like,
oh, yeah.
He's shocked by us. We're shocked by him. It's like two animals in the zoo that see each other. It's like looking in the mirror. We're like, yeah, like, what's going on? He's like, so he's confused.
Hey, so he's in the pine straw. Has to come up with a nice, delicate, handsy shot. Hazel rockets it to the right. Doesn't even come close.
Shake, right?
Shanks it.
Right after, his girlfriend starts laughing at him, and me and Mikey are in stitches. Like, we did that to him. And like, until 14, we're like, that guy's definitely still thinking about what just happened. Like, we mind fucked his entire round because Mikey runs up with a head cover. He's like, not that. He's like,
oh, dude. And then we're on the next hole. And they're coming up behind us, so we're like trying to go. So Lloyd's trying to go for his third shot, and he laid up, and we couldn't find where he laid up. And Lloyd's like, I don't know, like I should be. He goes, I think I'm back there. I must be back there. And so we went back, and Lloyd almost hit the other dude's drive, thinking it was Lloyd's shot. And I was like, oh no, your ball's up there, your ball's up there. It was a disaster for 2 holes.
Y'all boys was soaring. That's what it was.
Hey, if we would have hit this guy's ball, he would have been so
He'd
confused.
still be out there.
He wouldn't have figured it. He'd be like, what is going on? Are these guys fucking with me?
If we spun around, Mikey said, that's a noodle, it's a noodle.
Oh, man.
I wish we would have.
Wow.
That man would have been in a pretzel.
Needless to say, I did not have a good
We
back
didn't
nine.
play great, but we had fun.
Yeah.
I said, there's no way the numbers look good at the end of the
Dude.
day. There's just no way.
No, that card went straight in the trash.
Me and Lloyd were tied at the turn, and then
Oh, yeah, you still owe me $20.
we turned the third away. It didn't count.
Okay.
All right. That's all we got for today
Double,
on this
double,
beautiful
double.
beautiful Monday. We'll see y'all tomorrow if you're at the game. If you're not, we'll see you live. Whoa.
Oh, that's me.
We'll see you in the studio Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Remember, ask Mikey and Mitch. Put your questions in the chat or on Twitter. Lloyd picks out the best one. You get 2 free tickets to Canafest.
I feel like we felt on Saturday.
Huh?
I feel like we felt on Saturday.
And you get to have listen, a lot of laughs and vibes. A lot of laughs and vibes. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us. We're new. Get your pods. We'll see you on Wednesday. Enjoy the game tomorrow. See you out there. Peace. Jared, have a great day in Tejas. Didn't like.
Yeah!
Oh, it is. See, I tried to do it this morning. It doesn't work. It only works on that. It only works on the iPhone. Lloyd's still the Colada show's still using whatever the heck they're using.
Oh, the Zoom call. I mean, the vMix call. You know what? Whatever. Zoom works here. Video call works there.
There you go.
As long as I know how to work both, the show goes.
There you go. The show goes on. All right. Love y'all.
Love
The
y'all.
show must go.
Peace.
Deuces.
Say that.